We were talking about the 2017 Trump tax cuts, the ones that Republicans pushed through shortly after Trump won the election in 2016. And we were talking about how in those Trump tax cuts, corporate tax cuts were made permanent and working class tax cuts were temporary. And the way the bill was written was the tax cuts for working class people, for average Americans, they cut the rate temporarily, and then that rate was going to go back to what the rate was prior to the 2017 Trump tax cuts in incremental increases every 2 years, starting in 2021, the year after Trump ran for re-election in 2020. This person, who's left quite a few comments on a handful of videos, says Biden could have signed a bill as well to continue the tax cuts and stop the incremental increases. Oh, but he didn't. Now you're going to say he couldn't, right? Yeah, I am going to say that because presidents don't write or pass bills. They can only sign bills. I don't know if you're aware of how that works, but Congress needs to pass a bill. And if Congress doesn't pass a bill and give it to the president to sign, then the president doesn't have anything to sign. And since Congress never passed a bill to sign, Joe Biden couldn't sign a bill. Furthermore, the 2017 Trump tax cuts, to the best of my knowledge, and I'll have to rely on some of the legal experts that I'm mutuals with on here, can't be changed by law until next year. The way it was set up was that bill and its wording is permanent until 2025, which is the next time it can be changed. And I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news lately, but Joey didn't win re-election. He wasn't even on the ballot in 2024. So he can't change it in 2025, nor can the other Democrat. That would be entirely up to the Republicans. But the good news is this. The Republicans will be in charge by the end of January of the White House and all of Congress. They will have the House of Representatives where these spending and tax bills originate. They'll have the Senate and they'll have the White House, as well as having a safety net in the form of a 6-3 lifetime conservative Supreme Court. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save your comment. And we're going to circle back in a year or two, and we're going to find out why the Republicans didn't do it. Because now the Republicans are the ones that are going to have the opportunity to do that very thing. As a matter of fact, on January 21st, if they wanted to, the Republicans could pass a bill saying, hey, tax cuts for middle-class workers are now permanent, forever and ever, amen. Hey, President Trump, sign this, please, so we can all look like heroes. Think that's going to happen? And if you do think that's going to happen, then tell me why it didn't happen in 2017 when the original tax cuts were passed. Well, the Democrats fought it. The Republicans had the majority, my guy. They could have passed a separate standalone bill in 2017 after the tax cuts were passed and say a single-page bill saying the tax cuts for the working class in the bill we just passed are now permanent. But they didn't. Because of the way that they set up the bill and the fact that they don't give a fuck about the working class in this country. See, you want to talk about why the Democrats didn't fix something that the Republicans did without talking about why the Republicans did something that needs to be fixed to begin with. And no, once again, Joe Biden couldn't just make a bill appear for him to sign. That's not how any of this works.